Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today. My name is Tessa Kloster, and I'll be talking to you about customer service insights and how you can use it to help scale your customer service operations. So today we're going to go through a few different areas. I'll start with just an introduction and overview of customer service insights, give you a great demo about what's new in the April release. Hopefully you've all seen the latest, but if not, I'll walk you through it. And then just recap what we've seen and what's coming next. We'll also spend some time at the end for Q&A. I have Deanna and some other experts on the line ready to help answer your questions. And then also feel free to put them in the tool, and then we'll actually spend some time answering them live at the end as well. So looking forward to spending that time as well. So quick before we get into the CSI specific content, as you hopefully know by now, we have a rich, vibrant community across Dynamics and Power Platform. You'll find the Customer Service Insights community under the Dynamics URL that's right there. And that's where myself and the rest of the team are there and ready to kind of connect and answer any questions or concerns that you might have. So definitely leverage the community as much as possible. So jumping right into the content, so hopefully folks are aware of Customer Service Insights, but it is still a relatively new product. But Customer Service Insights really helps users, customer service organizations better understand their data and what issues their customers are affecting so that they can make better decisions to improve. And it's actually an exciting time of year for us, because we're actually celebrating 1 year since Customer Service Insights launched. So we launched back April 30th, 2019, and it's been great to kind of see how the product has evolved, how you guys, our customers, have kept giving us feedback, and we've kind of factored all that in and kept delivering great updates. So just happy to celebrate, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying the journey as well. And as always, I use this backdrop because it is the website, our marketing page. But if you go to ak.ms/try/CS-insights, that's going to take you directly here, and that Get Started button will get you right into the product. So definitely try it out if you haven't already. So when we talk about Customer Service Insights, we really talk about it as part of the full end-to-end experiences. So of course we have core customer service in addition to omnichannel, and so that's really where, of course, your agents are interacting and engaging and helping your customers. And then what Insights helps you do is really understand those engagements, identify areas to improve, and really make the right investments based off of the resources that you have. And actually, this ties in fully with our virtual agent capability as well, which you'll see a little bit. And so you can really see how this whole continuum across our Dynamics offerings really help you power those end-to-end experiences. So Customer Service Insights specifically has a number of great features that help you do just that. Kind of starting with out-of-box dashboards and analytics. These really help you see the different visualize the different metrics and core reporting capabilities that you need to run your organization. But we take it a step further with their natural language understanding and AI capabilities, where we process all the cases that your organization has encountered in the last few months, and we help identify and group common issues together so that your teams can really invest in things that are having the biggest impact for your customers. And so taking that further as well, you can even use those topics that we've generated automatically for you and start seeing what's emerging, what are new things, have like high volume changes, those types of things. And then, using those signals to make sure that you're addressing issues that you might not have been aware of, or things that are easy for your organization to address while you tackle the more complicated issues. And all this together, from the analytics, the insights, the topic clustering, all this is ultimately going to help your agents provide better service, and therefore have your customers with better experiences and increased satisfaction, and ultimately build loyalty for your organization. So again, a number of different areas and features that Insights helps with, and overall can really have an impact to your organization. And with that, we're going to hop right into a demo. As I mentioned, we're going to spend a good amount of time kind of going through the April release. So what you're seeing right now is Customer Service Insights. And if you've been along with us for this journey of just over a year now, this might be a different page, homepage than what you're used to seeing. And this is because as part of the April release, we've built and shared this really great kind of homepage, key insights page that helps organizations really get to the specific things that they need to focus on. So what you can see here, for example, if I do nothing else on this page, if I just look at these top 3 topics to watch, I already have 3 areas of issues that my customers are facing that I can go and kind of immediately try to address and resolve depending on what the issue is. And so if I look a little bit closer, you can see why these 3 are identified. So for example, the first one around software, dispute on software and drivers, you can see it is, top in our volume driver. It's affecting our CSAT negatively, and it's also a #1 emerging topic. So really, this is something that my organization hadn't seen last month. We're seeing it now, and is something that needs attention and something I can jump on to kind of help address it before it affects more customers. And so overall, this homepage has a number of great features. If I keep kind of scrolling down, you can see in addition to those top 3, I also have some other kind of cards. This one, for example, is showing top topics related to resolution time. And each of these cards has an explanation directly tied into the card that explains why these topics are showing up and what potentially you can do about them. And then it also has the ability to kind of jump directly into one of the more detailed dashboards if you want to kind of drill in and out and understand a little bit more about this area, not just the top topics that we've highlighted on the homepage. So switching back to the homepage, I'll go a little bit further. We have a card that tells you about automating topics. And so this is something, as I mentioned, we have great integration with Power Virtual Agent, which I'll show in a little while. We also have the final 2 that show it by CSAT, and specifically CSAT by channel. And then also the final card tells you about volume, and specifically volume throughout the day. And again, you can see on each of these, it's not just kind of a key distilled insight that is highlighted. You also have these AI generated topics directly coincided with them, and you can drill into a topic at any time. So jumping back to the top, that's exactly what I would do as a customer service manager, is I would see these top areas and figure out what I want to drill into and understand. So for example, I can see the service request for a Wi-Fi printer, again, a big volume driver affecting CSAT. And then also I can see right here, it's affecting my resolution time as well. So selecting on a topic is actually going to bring me into the new page where I'm going to drill in to that particular area, and I can see the number of cases that are related to this particular topic and a number of additional analytics about it as well. And so instead of seeing that kind of high-level view from either resolution time or something else, I'm really going to drill in to understand better what this issue is and how it's affecting kind of my core business metrics. And so before I get too far into this, what I do want to kind of highlight is when you saw that I clicked, on a particular topic, it actually brought me out into this particular view. Might have been a little bit subtle because it actually obviously feels very similar to what we're used to. But if I pop back to the first screen, what you might have noticed actually for folks that are paying attention is that we're actually doing all of this with insights directly in Customer Service Hub. And this is because we're really excited to share as part of the April release that Dynamics 365 Customer Service Insights can be enabled directly in the Customer Service Hub application that our users know and love. And this is really going to make it a lot easier for our customer service supervisors and managers to get these insights directly in the context of them doing other work throughout the day. So very excited about it. And you can see here, if I pop back to customer service, that I also have this new area that can be enabled around analytics and insights. And that's where you'll find these great insight dashboards that I just ran us through. We also have a number of kind of core historical analytical reports that we're also releasing in this April wave. Also can be enabled right now, actually, as part of the preview. And so if you've been following, again, our analytical journey for some time, what you might be familiar with is the Power BI dashboards, an app that we have available through AppSource. But this, of course, required you to bring your own Power BI and do configuration on your side. But now with this April release, you actually see the reports directly in Customer Service Hub, configured for you, no Power BI required. However, it still leverages the power of Power BI underneath it. And so all that great experiences that you're familiar with, the slicing and dicing and interactivity, is all there as well. And then this also gives us the ability to see a much longer time range of data. And so you can see, for example, I can expand this to the last year or beyond, depending on my data size that I have. So overall, a few kind of exciting things that we're bringing directly into Customer Service Hub as part of the April wave, and definitely pieces that hopefully you're all trying out already. So if I jump back to the scenario that we were talking through, where I identified a topic, or the key insights page actually identified a topic for me, I want to drill into this view and really understand what's happening here. So looking at the issues related to service requests for a Wi-Fi printer, again, you can see on this page that there's a number of core analytics and different visuals that I can see to help understand the impact. For example, I can see how it's impacting my customer satisfaction, and you can see the main issues are coming in through Twitter or email are quite negative related to CSAT. And then resolution time, you can see things coming through the web is taking a very long time to resolve. And so overall, it's kind of giving me some hints that this is an area that my customers need some more information about that I don't have. Our organization, either maybe we're missing a knowledge base article or something like that. But it's clear we need to make it easier for our users to self-service on this one. And this is where actually the integration with Power Virtual Agent comes in and can be really helpful. So if you can see here, just on the top right-hand side of my screen, there's an option to automate. And what this does is it's actually going to take me into Power Virtual Agent. And if you're not familiar with it yet, there's a lot of great sessions and content out there as well. But Power Virtual Agents helps you build low, no-code virtual agents and bots that you can put directly to your customers and help them resolve their issues quicker. So what's happened just by selecting that one little button, it's taken me into Power Virtual Agents, into a bot that I've already created, and it's created a new topic for me. And the topics are what the content that the bot has in order to address issues as customers come in. And so it's not just about creating a particular topic, which is, as you can see here, it's brought in the one that we had from Customer Service Insights, but it's also brought in trigger phrases, which is how the questions that the customer writes are, routed to this particular topic in the Power Virtual Agent. And so it's actually brought in trigger phrases based off of the cases that were in this particular topic that we identified. And of course, we can always add more if you wanted to customize it as well. But then in just a few clicks, you can create this topic and go right into the authoring canvas, where you can customize it, build out how the content that you want your bot to say in response to this, and then actually publish it very quickly so that it's facing your customers. And so again, if you're not familiar with it, you can ask questions, you can receive information from the customer, you can store it in variables, you can trigger Power Automate flows, so much power in the Power Virtual Agents. It really unleashes the capabilities of what you can do with self-service support as well. So just to kind of recap, we went from a particular homepage that highlighted a topic that was an issue for my organization based off of a number of different factors. We had volume drivers, CSAT, emerging topics. I went directly from there into understanding the issue more itself. And then in just a few clicks, went all the way over to Power Virtual Agent, where I can submit this back and start having my bot answer that question or that issue that I found just a few screens ago. So really exciting to see how it all kind of ties together and the opportunity for my customers. So flipping back into the insights view for a moment, I did mention you can also see the cases that you have tied into a particular topic. And this is great because you can see, you can open them directly in Customer Service Hub. Again, you can interact with it. but it's also where we have some of our feedback capabilities, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a second. So going back home to the landing page, one of the things you might have seen with Insights is that we do support some different avenues and ways to look at your data. One of the additional ones we're excited to share as part of, again, the April release in the preview is actually related to Call Insights. And so if I open, for example, a Call Insights sample environment, and again, anyone who's using CSI today or signs up to try CSI through that link I mentioned at the beginning, this is now available in that same launcher that I'm showing here. You'll see the new preview tab. And what this does with Call Insights is it leverages some of the great power that you might have seen in Sales Insights, actually, with Conversation Intelligence, to understand and give you insights about call recordings that have happened in your organization. And so what you can see here on the left-hand side, I have two different pivots, one about a team-based view and one on an agent-based view, which I'll drill into a second. And what this does is it gives me some insight about how the team is responding to different calls, and we can see some key metrics like talk to listen ratio, customer sentiment, conversation style. So there's a number of great information that's kind of derived from the recordings themselves, so that you can help your team learn and improve based off of how they're handling service calls as well. And so if I go right into an agent view, for example, and this is where I can pivot across my team, again, metrics directly tied to that agent, also with sentiment, but I can even go directly into a call and see the transcript alongside some additional insights. For example, when products are being specified, how does it highlight in the call? What is the sentiment change up and down? Those types of things. So lots of great power in the Call Insights, and we're excited to have the preview and see feedback from the community and what else we can do to kind of tie these conversation intelligence tighter to your whole support organization. So definitely another piece that we'd like you to try out. So if I flip back quickly into this workspace, the final piece that I'll mention is that we do have a number of improvements related to our settings. And so, not something maybe you change every day, but you'll see some additional capability around cleansing the actual case titles to prepare them for the better clustering. And so these are pieces that you'll see improvements over the April wave as well. And then we do also have some improvements around customization and being able to connect to the data directly. So lots of great things in the April wave that we've been really excited about, many of them available right now. So please do go try them out if you haven't done so already. So flipping back to our slides quickly. Hopefully, as you saw as part of the demo, really what Customer Service Insights does is it really plugs in across our whole portfolio of customer service. It helps you understand what's happening in your customer service organization and what issues your customers are facing. You can do that and take action and even automate the issues that you're finding, as you saw through the integration with Power Virtual Agents. In turn, you can keep tracking that through the core customer service application. Again, all the cases are kind of feeding into this cycle as well. And then you can also leverage omnichannel for customer service to really shift folks from the high touch base that you might have through core cases today and do something more light through the number of different channels that we support through digital messaging, Facebook chat, WhatsApp, all these different pieces as well. So really nice cycle that kind of keeps tying and helps bringing in the insights and the information to help you make better decisions. So again, this helps you kind of gain the visibility, and this is what our original page looked like when we started, and now again we have this kind of great key insight homepage, and you'll see we're evolving through this wave and beyond really how to tie them closer together so you can get the key kind of highlights and then also be able to dive deep in through the analytics capabilities. And then each of these different areas really do help you focus on a different piece as needed. And so the rich embedded analytics, as we saw too, kind of gives a longer view that you can interact with and really get to the specific details. So as you find kind of a key insight, something, a highlight that you might want to investigate, this really will help you kind of get to the different view and see all the different dimensions associated with the issue. And then, as I showed quickly, being able to leverage the call insights capabilities to start to get some of this additional insight and awareness and actions really from the call recordings that you have as well. And so, we know this is a big area as far as customer service organizations go, where there's so much rich information, locked in those calls. And so this really helps start bringing that to view and helps your organization really benefit from all that information that you have. And in general, as I mentioned, there's a number of different kind of controls directly in these products. As much as we focus on having kind of out-of-box capabilities and really quick, easy to get started with, we do want to make sure that you're able to kind of tune it based off of your organization so that it makes the most sense for your team. And so one way, for example, that we've had from the beginning and we just continue to improve is that the way that you can influence the topic generation itself. And so this is important, automatically out of box, we are going to use natural language understanding to create those topics, but you might find, the semantics for your organization are a little bit different. And so you can actually give thumbs up, thumbs down for the actual clustering. You can move things to new clusters. You can rename. You can add keywords to extract. So there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can really influence and improve the topic generation for your organization. We, of course, have the capability with Power Virtual Agents, that integration that we released actually with the virtual agent GA that happened in December. And so with that launch, we had the initial capability, but now with April, you really see that highlighting of what topics are best candidates for virtual agents. Of course, any topic you find, you can still use that capability I showed today, but this card really helps kind of focus and nominate things that are good candidates for that automation. And then finally, as I mentioned, there's some additional capabilities specifically around accessing the data that we generate as well. Again, with anything out of box, we know that we're not going to cover every single scenario, and especially for organizations that might be merging data across a number of different sources or doing some kind of additional deep analysis on that side. You are able to kind of connect to the data directly and leverage that in reports going forward. So that's another preview capability that we just released in the April wave too. So overall, hopefully you've gotten a great update on customer service insights and all the great capabilities we've been able to release over the last year. We're still working and really excited for the upcoming releases too in October. Really what you're going to see is just insights being more and more deeply integrated into your existing experiences with customer service and omnichannel, just to help both managers and agents really get their job done more efficiently and ensuring that the ultimate goal of our customers being more satisfied as they're dealing with support. So we're really excited for all the work and looking forward to seeing what else is coming next. So that's the bit that I had as far as slides and demo-wise. Now we do have some dedicated time for questions, and actually I think Deanna's on the line who can help read some out to me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tessa. Very exciting to see the progress that you guys have made over the past year. I know a lot of customers are very excited about having the customer service insights embedded within the customer service hub. So great job. We do have a few questions here from the audience with our remaining 5 minutes. The first question is from Daniel. How can we analyze calls? Is this an option in the channel integration framework?
Great question. So what Daniel's referring to is the channel integration framework, or CIF. Right now, the call intelligence doesn't tie into CIF itself. It expects the call recordings. And so that's a piece that we're working to kind of get more integrated as much as possible. But to start right now, you can use the call insights preview that I just ran through quickly with any recordings that you might already have from your customer service engagements. And if you pop over to the latest in the documentation, it tells you all the ways to get started. And so that's something that you could pick up right now, and you'll just see it keep getting better.
Thanks, Tessa. Our next question is from Lynn, and they would like to know for the call analysis, who are the partners for call functionality?
Good question. So as far as the partners for different call functionality, I'm guessing, Lynn, you're asking about like call providers, like different partners that help actually you make calls and maintain those calls. Considering the way the Call Insights has been implemented today, actually any of the different partners, it's supported as long as you have access to the recordings themselves. And so it explains a little bit more in the documentation about how you can kind of connect those two. But similar to what I said with Daniel's comment on SIF, you'll see us kind of keep going forward and having tighter integration with partners directly to make it even easier to onboard. But right now, just start in the preview. As long as you have the recordings, you should be able to get started.
Wonderful. Our next question is, what languages are currently supported, especially for the AI features in Customer Service Insights?
Good question. So as far as when we talk about languages being supported, there are those two angles. One of them, of course, is just the kind of UI, the localization side. So that's supported in 40 plus languages tied to the Dynamics stack, with the exception of the right to left languages right now, but it's something we're tracking on the backlog. On the AI side, we leverage additional kind of language trained models. And so in the documentation, you'll see the list of the explicit kind of native models that we support language-wise for AI. And for those ones, you'll see kind of improved semantic clustering. We do also have kind of a generic model that's been trained across languages. And what that'll do is it'll also kind of understand how to map similar looking sentences together. And so it's not as deep on the semantic side, but it does support, a number of different languages as well. So the full set, again, is in the documentation, but really you should be able to cluster across any different languages that you're working with right now.
Wonderful. And our next question, are the Customer Service Insights reports customizable?
Great question. So today there's limited support for customization on the reports. As you saw, you can interact with them, you can do different slicers and range, and all that is going to be customized to your data. Similarly, the different channels, as you saw in the visualizations, all that is going to be custom to what your organization has configured. But as far as actually changing different visuals or removing or adding, today that's not supported. And so one of the kind of options to work around that is to leverage kind of that the functionality where we let you kind of connect to the data yourself and build it in for your different analytics. But one of the things you'll see us continue to invest on and improve is the level of customization. And so if there's specific needs anyone has about wanting to change particular things at different goals, definitely reach out, and you can see aka.ms/CSI ideas. Post it there and help vote on it so that we can prioritize those customizations.
Thanks, Tessa. And we have time for one more question with only 2 minutes remaining. Can you talk more about some of the planned feedback capabilities available within CSI?
Yeah, so the feedback capabilities, I'm going to guess we're talking about the feedback on the actual AI capabilities that we have there. And so that there's a number of rich ways that you can influence and provide feedback into the AI models that we have. So that's one that I only showed really quickly as far as thumbs up, thumbs down, and moving. But that does tune the model for your specific organization. And then feedback as far as the product-wise, again, I'll point folks to the ideas in the community. And that's really where we do source a lot of information about how we can improve the application in general. Great. Well, I think that's it. We're just on time. I really appreciate everyone joining us today, and hope you learned a lot, and looking forward to connecting on the community. Thanks, everyone.